Hey guys, Mooky here, and I'm back with another part of What If Izuku Had the Demon Summoning App. This is part 9. In the last part, Izuku took place during the sports festival and also got first in the first event being the obstacle course, second being first again in the cavalry battle, with his first match being against Shinso in the one-on-one battles, until Shoto stops Izuku and tells him his story. And with that said, let's get into this. As Shoto begins telling him everything about how his life was a living hell, how he was trained by his father, and how his mother was suffering, with Endeavor so obsessed with trying to defeat All Might, forcing his kids and to become the one to defeat him instead, with all of his older siblings being failures, with Shoto being his masterpiece. As soon after, with his mother basically pouring hot water on his left side, calling it unbearable. Izuku hearing this, but not really fazed at all. If anything, he's more pissed than anything, as he's saying that he'll show that he will defeat All Might, and that he will defeat anyone, but only using his right side. After that, Izuku soon had his head down, as he raises it up, and it's that of a pissed off, angry look, as saying, "So you're holding yourself back just so you can prove a point to your father, to anyone, saying that you can beat All Might and every other top-ranked villain with just your ice alone. Is that right?" As saying, "Yes, and I even will defeat you as well. So all those other matches will mean nothing when I bring you down, Midoriya." As Izuku saying, "You are so stupid, Todoroki." Saying, "What? You're holding yourself back for a personal reason that's hard. I can understand your pain, your suffering, your anger. I get it. But tell me, what would happen if you hold yourself back and you can defeat a villain that's weakened by your flames? And no other villain and no other hero has a quirk like that. Tell me, what would you do?" As Shoto was about to say something, Izuku stops him and says, "But he also has a hostage. And tell me, how would you defeat the villain whose weakness is fire, when you have a fire quirk and you only use your ice? Tell me, what would happen to the civilian that's being a hostage?" As he's saying, I would tell me. What would happen to them? Would they be saved, or would they die? You have two choices. And saying they would. You can't answer that because you already know the answer. They would die because you hold yourself back. You are weak, Todoroki, both mentally and physically. To become a real hero, you have to overcome your pain and your hatred for your father. And if you think you can beat him for only using your ice, you have another thing coming. You know that. As Shoto's eyes begin widening, realizing what Izuku is saying, as he tells him, I'll hold myself back too when I fight against you. I won't even lift a finger. If anything, my summons will be the one to bring you down to your knees. Because it's not just them fighting. I'm fighting alongside them. Most people don't realize that, after all." As he leaves, soon after, he's saying, "Enjoy the conversation, Kachan, because you're next if you make it to the finals." As he soon leaves as well. As Bakugo saying, "That bastard knew I was here this entire time. Damn him! I swear, I won't lose to him or Icy Hot. I swear it." I won't lose to either of them. As the first event comes up, Izuku versus against Shinso. As soon after, Shinso believes that all he needs to do is get Izuku under his skin, as he thinks with the speech that he gave, he can just call him quirkless, powerless, and saying that even with a quirk like that, he's still weak, thinking he has this in the bag. As Izuku knows what he's going to do and how he's going to trigger him, as all he needs to do is as he has his phone in his pocket and ready to press Coup Cullen. As soon after, President Mike gives them the go to begin. As soon after, Shinso begins insulting Izuku, calling him weak, and saying that he only got here by luck and pure coincidence, all because of his quirk. As Izuku keeps on walking in front of Shinso, as he thinks. Then he tries insulting Ojiro for giving up his spot for this, saying it's stupid and the thing of honor and skill means nothing. As Izuku thinks to himself, only you would say that because you have no idea what you're really doing. You have no idea what it truly means to be a hero. You just want to prove that you can become a hero. As soon after, Izuku is just already in front of Shinso. As Shinso is shocked, surprised, and thinks, why is he not saying anything? He should be. As he tries to throw a heavy right hook to Izuku's face, as Izuku catches his punch like it was nothing. As soon after, Shinso isn't even activating his quirk, as he tells him, dude, you are so pathetic. If you want to be a hero so badly, you should have trained your body and learned how to fight, weakling. As he throws him on the ground and then puts his foot on his chest and tells him, submit, give up, you're not going to win this. As he thinks, as long as I activate my quirk, as he soon realizes he's not. It's not a nullification quirk, but it does restrict your mind control abilities. I took down a villain who had the ability to nullify anything that would mess with his mind. At first I thought it was useless, but now if I think about it, it's more useful in situations against you or Mr. Aizawa. As he thinks, how the hell did you... Now submit! I don't want to make this any less humiliating as it needs to be for you. I can tell you've been through enough. As Shinso's eyes begin whining, he says, I give up. I surrender. As soon after, Midnight calls Izuku to be the winner. Hearing that, Izuku removes his foot from Shinso and lets go of his arm as well. As he's saying, you could have won easily. You could have used your monsters to beat me. So why didn't you? As Izuku saying, to be honest, I need you to realize your situation. Just beating you with my overpowered quirk would have made things a lot more worse and made you hate the hero course way more than you already do, right? As Shinso surprised, saying, wait, how did you... As Izuku cuts him off, saying, train, get stronger, focus on fighting styles. You have an amazing quirk. Use it. As a last resort, focus on hand-to-hand combat or using other things like possibly weapons as a second option too. Got it? As saying, I guess you're right. I guess I should try to focus on something more than that. As Izuku hears this, saying, catch you later, Shinso. As for the other matches, they go just like is canon, so not really any different. Even the one with, Hatsume displaying her babies. And it actually went on way longer than it would in canon, mostly because of Izuku not really letting her show off her support items during the cavalry battle. So it goes on for at least an hour and 30 minutes. Then the matches go on just like they would in canon, with Izuku going against Shoto. As for this match, Izuku runs into Endeavor as he realizes, so this is the bastard. As he thinks, so you're the kid with the summoning quirk. You make one hell of an appearance during the beginning. To be honest, you're the perfect opponent for my Shoto. He will become the next number one hero, the one to defeat All Might as well. So, try and get him to use his flames, will you? As Izuku saying, how pathetic you are. Saying, what? You want to use me as a way for you to get your son to use the flames that he suppressed because you're the one who made his life a living hell. All because you were too blind to realize that what your pursuit of trying to defeat All Might was ruining your family. As saying, what the hell? The hell do you know, kid? I know quite a bit now. Thanks to Todoroki, of course, telling me. As saying, what? Now, I will want Todoroki to use his flames on me, because he needs to. Holding himself back isn't what it means to be a hero, when innocent people's lives are on the line after all. But I won't be doing it for you. I'll be helping him trying to overcome his pain and suffering after all. So thank me later when I'm done beating the shit out of your son. As he walks to the entrance and soon waves behind him without even looking, saying, you damn brat! Don't you dare talk to me like that ever again! As Izuku looks at Endeavor, but his eyes are cold, and they're not even green anymore. They're blue, with that of a murderous glare. As soon as Endeavor is shaken to the core, looking at those eyes, as Izuku walks to the entrance again. As he makes it there, President Mike introduces both of them to the arena, as everyone sees this and wonders who could win this match, that it could go either way as they think. But however, some of them in the stands already know who's going to win, no matter what. As soon after, President Mike gives them the go to begin, as Shoto uses a barrage of ice to go right at Izuku. Izuku summons Berserker to destroy, using a powerful slash to break the ice apart before it could even hit Izuku. Soon after, he thinks all I need to do is wear down those monsters. Surely they have a limit to what they can do. As he soon uses another ice barrage, Berserker soon destroys it. As soon after, he thinks just a little bit more. All I can do is, as soon after, he feels like something's behind him. As it realized it being Cullen. As he was about to hit him with his spear, Shoto creates an ice barrier to block the attack. As it goes right through it and ducks, as he thinks, how the hell did you? I didn't even. As saying, Cullen has an ability that allows him to teleport anywhere for at least 10 feet. So you being 10 feet away makes it kind of easy for him to teleport. Saying, what the hell? If you keep hitting me with ice barrage, Berserker will block them. And with that leaves you an opening for Cullen. You can't attack and defend at the same time, Todoroki, unless you use your other side. Unless you use your flames to attack and your ice to defend. If anything, it would make a way much more better strategy, don't you think? As Izuku has a smug smile on his face. As Shoto, getting pissed, saying, what, you want my fire, Midoriya, that badly? Did my father tell you to use it? As Izuku saying, well, he did suggested it. As that, Shoto gets more and more pissed and rushes at Izuku with his ice propelling him forward pretty fast. As Kukulin sees this and thinks, you damn fool. As the spar of light hits Shoto in the gut, with Shoto being knocked back. As Shoto thinks, damn it, he's right. He baited me. Damn, he knew I would lose it after hearing his name. How? He knows everything I'm going to do now. As Izuku thinks, come on, Todoroki, use your flames. Even though you know you won't win this match, at least give it everything you have to go against me. As soon after, Shoto uses an tries to hit Izuku with another ice barrage. As Berserker destroys it again, with Kukulin ready to strike. With Shoto doing another ice wall, but it breaking once more. As he knows, damn it, if this keeps up, I'm going to lose. I have to find some way to make an opening. As soon after, he puts all of his ice onto the ground. As the entire arena begins iced over. As Izuku thinks, I see what you're trying to do. Trying to make it harder for both Kukulin and Berserker to attack you and move forward, allowing your ice to hit me. Am I right? As saying, so you know it. Then you know that. Too bad it's not really a good plan for somebody like me. As he brings out his phone, and soon after, the ice that was under Izuku begins melting. As he thinks, what the hell? How did you? As Izuku begins a little laugh, as he says, I have an ability that allows me to take other people's quirks. As saying, what? Well, not officially take, more like copy. But it becomes the full-on quirk after all. Right now, I'm melting your ice to a point where I can move, and to be honest, it wasn't really much of a problem to do. He thinks, what the hell? How the hell am I supposed to beat something like this? As he thinks, I guess I have no choice. I have to give it everything I got. One-ditch effort. As soon after, he begins making a way for both Berserker and Kukulin to move easily across the stadium. As he thinks, now he thinks he is at his limit. He plans on doing a last-ditch effort attack, just like he did with Sero. As soon after, a huge gulf of ice begins heading right for Izuku, as it's the same attack that he did against Sero. As soon after, he thinks, this is so pathetic. As Izuku raises his hand, and Berserker prepares to attack, with Kukulin doing the same. As soon after, all three of their attacks dispersed the giant ice attack easily. As he thinks, what the? How the hell? I thought for sure that would have. As Izuku walks to Shoto, as he's saying, you stupid, foolish idiot. You know, I was hoping that you would use your flames because you had the perfect it would have been the perfect way to give it everything you got. Perfect way to go out in a blaze of glory, even in the midst of defeat. You have one of the greatest quirks that many people would kill for, many people would strive for, so many people would beg the world to allow them to have, and yet you're holding yourself back for a personal grudge that should mean nothing to you, that you should choose what you decide you become. And look at you, you're a prodigy now crying because he can't defeat one opponent, because he can't prove that he can beat everybody with just one half of his quirk. And you're in doing that, you're not insulting just yourself. You're insulting everyone else that you face against, including me and Sero too. I pity you, Shoto Todoroki, because unlike you, I had to die to get my quirk. I had to commit suicide to get the power I've earned. As soon after, many people in the stands hear this, as Izuku said that he had to kill himself, that he had to die to get his quirk. As Io, who was in the stands, realized, I remember Izuku committing suicide, and yet he didn't have a single scratch on him. He died, and yet he's still here with a powerful quirk like that. It's so morbid and scary. As Daichi thinks, yeah, it is. But to be honest, it kind of makes sense now. Somebody that was once powerless, now hating the world and everyone else who has amazing quirks. Todoroki, I feel bad for him, but to be honest, holding himself back is more of an insult to Izuku than anything else in this world for him. As soon after, Izuku began beating the shit out of Shoto, as everyone in the stands thinks that this has gone too damn far, as Shoto hasn't even gone to the point of giving up yet, even though he knows that he'll never win unless he uses his fire. As soon after, Izuku has him by the throat and thinks, are you going to use your flames now, Todoroki? Because you're going to lose to me. You're going to show on how weak a prodigy like you doesn't deserve to be called a hero. You know that, right? Saying, shut up. You won't use your own damn quirk. It's not your damn father's, you idiot. It's yours. Yours alone. And if you continue this path, you'll be nothing but another fake hero who look down on other people, the very people you should know you have to save. As soon after, memories of Shoto's past begin fluttering into his mind, as memories of his mom, his dad, and in the words that his mom told him, that he isn't a prisoner of his lineage, that he can choose what he becomes. As soon after, flames began erupting as Izuku begins using fire nullification. As soon after, he steps back and begins smiling, saying, Midoriya, all you've been doing is trying to get me to use my flames so badly, and yet you've suffered just as much as I have. And yet I was blind to it because I was only cared about myself. So I will show you. I'll show you that I can become a hero, no matter what. As Izuku begins smiling, as both Berserker and Kukulin at his side, as he's saying, this is what I wanted to see. Now, give me everything you got, Todoroki. Don't hold back. As soon after, Berserker prepares his blade, as Kukulin prepares his spear, and Izuku prepares his flames, as Shoto launches a giant ice tsunami at Izuku, as Berserker jumps at it and cuts it down, with Kukulin now striking what's left of it, with Shoto burning the ice, superheating it in the process, and prepares his fire, as he thinks to himself, Midoriya, I am thankful for what you've done. And I see that you've gone through so much pain and suffering, and I now realize somebody like you was just trying to help me in your own way. And for that, I thank you. As he shoots his flames, as Izuku prepares his flames as well, as both Cementos and Midnight try to stop this, however, were unable to, because both their attacks collide. As soon after, a huge explosion soon destroys the stadium, as everyone in the stands feels the huge air pressure and power coming from both the attacks. As soon after, President Mike thinks, Jesus Christ, what happened? Gee, man, your students are monsters. As Aizawa soon explains, but when both the attacks were about to hit Midoriya, Todoroki's flames heated up the ice to an extent to the point that it caused a huge explosion. Even the same, in adding Midoriya's flames as well, it even created a more bigger explosion. As things, so what happened? As President Mike asked Midnight on what's going on down there. As she tries to catch her bearings, she soon sees that both Kukulin and Berserker are still standing, with Izuku also still standing as well, with a smile on his face, as he soon walks to the where Shoto was, who is on his knees, as Shoto saying, "I'm at my limit. I can't go anymore." As soon after, Izuku tells Shoto to say it. Soon, Shoto says, "I surrender. I give up." As that, Midnight hears that, with calling Izuku the winner. With Shoto struggling to stand up, Izuku offered him a hand, saying, "Come on, I'll get you to the infirmary. And sorry about all those punches and blows to the face and your body." As saying, "I honestly, now that I think about it, I honestly deserved it." As Izuku laughs and says, "Yeah, you did." As both of them head to the infirmary. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to hear them. Also, like and subscribe, which helps out my channel a lot. I also have a Discord called Mooky's What Ifs. So, if you guys want to check it out, I'll probably leave a link in the description below. That said, this is Mooky, signing out. Later.